there are approximately 40 million people who are going to be looking for a home-based business in the next 3 to 5 years. That's according to Forbes magazine. And all of you who are on this call tonight, at some point, we're checking out our home business. And we are not naive to expect that some of you will resonate with the Carbon Copy Pro system, and others are going to resonate with other online businesses. And we think that that's great. That's what makes the world unique and special, as everybody has their own place. And what we wanted to do tonight was make sure that you had something to actually go out, a base of knowledge to go out and look at home-based businesses online and know exactly what you should be looking for so that you can make a confident decision regardless of what you decide to get started with, and you don't get yourself into any trouble. Because here's the reality, folks. Businesses online are no different than businesses offline. If you do your research and you set yourself up for success by following a simple game plan, you'll find the business that's the right fit for you and you'll do very well. If you just go out there and jump in the first thing that you find, 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose money and you're going to end up cooked in 6 to 8 months. Then you got to go back to the job, save up more money, and start again. It's actually a vicious cycle that a lot of people go through when they're starting in the home-based business industry. So as Mark said, our title for tonight's call is very simple. It is the 7 things that every entrepreneur should know before starting an online business. And we know that you're going to be able to take the knowledge away from this call tonight and go out and get started in a business that is going to be the right fit for you. And like I said, you're going to be set up for success. So you may want to have a pen and piece of paper handy and write a couple of quick notes down. We're probably going to send out an email after this call tonight just sort of recapping what we talked about. But let's talk about point number 1. The first thing that you should look for when you're selecting or choosing a home-based business to start with. You must find a business that has unique products that are in high demand in the marketplace. There are a lot of companies out there right now that spring up every day, and they're actually copying other companies. I'll give you a perfect example of this. How many juices or vitamins have you seen on the market? How many people have pitched you with the greatest nutritional supplement? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a healthy guy. I take nutritional supplements. I go down to the General Nutrition Center, GNC, and I buy them, and they're great. And most of the supplements out there are great as well. But does the world really need another vitamin? Are people begging for another juice from some berry found deep in the Amazon? The reality is no, because the marketplace is flooded with those types of products. And if you're going to represent or market a product like that, you're going to be competing against companies that have been in that marketplace for as long as 50 to 60 years. Folks, everybody remembers that company called Amway. Amway has the biggest selling nutritional supplement line in the world. You think that starting with a new nutritional supplement company, you're going to somehow be able to take out Amway? They're long established in the marketplace, and they are the first person in always gets the lion's share. So find a product that is unique and tough to copy, because if it isn't tough to copy, somebody else will knock it off very, very quickly. The second thing you want to look for is the product in demand in the marketplace? Like I was saying a little bit earlier, no one needs another vitamin. Some of the products out there, when I see them and people bring them and put them in front of me, are absurd. And if you remove the business opportunity from the product and you step back and really look at the value of this product and ask yourself, would I want this product? Would this product benefit me if it didn't have a business opportunity attached? If you can't legitimately and honestly answer, yes, this product is of value to me, then you're pretty much selling buckets of air. And if you're selling buckets of air, you're never going to be able to get fully behind it. And the product is going to have a very short lifespan because nobody really wants it. The first thing you should always look for when you're selecting a home-based business is unique products that are in demand in the marketplace. The second thing that you should look for when selecting a home-based business is something that pays with a really lucrative compensation plan. Now, what does really lucrative mean? Well, that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. But in my experience over the last 5 years, and folks, I've made multiple 7 figures online, The great thing is I actually started as a nightclub bouncer, and I got lucky and fell into a good compensation plan on my first attempt 4 years ago. But what I mean by a good compensation plan is this. If you're going to market a product for another company, which is what the majority of online businesses are, you become an affiliate, you want to be paid up front with a really high upfront commission bonus, and you also want to be paid on the back end with some sort of residual income. The majority of the compensation plans that you will look at either have really high upfront and really low residual, or the other way around. They have really low upfront and really high residual. You actually have to find a company that pays both equal. Now, why is this important when you're actually searching for a home-based business? Well, you've got to make big upfront commissions on your own efforts in the beginning, because that's what's going to give you the traction. That's what's going to build momentum. Most people want to get into a home-based business to supplement their income originally, but eventually they want to make enough money to get out of their current job or their current business. And if you're making little $100 commissions along the way, it is very, very difficult to do this. What I found works best for me is find a company that markets products that are usually in the $1,000 or up range. Because when you're marketing the product that's $1,000 or up, you can usually make a commission of somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Whatever the case may be, look at how much the product costs and try to find a compensation plan that pays you at least 50% of the upfront product. The second thing you want to look for is you want to look for a compensation plan that pays you residually. Because, folks, when you're marketing online, people who see you making money are going to want to do what you do. And if you can teach them or plug them into some sort of marketing system and get them making sales as well, that's where you can create a residual income, and the residual income is what helps you retire. Because you know what? You can make a lot of money over your first year or 2 years or 3 years, but if you can't keep making money without going back to your computer or back to your phone day in and day out, you will get burnt out and you will quit. So there has to be a residual income aspect to allow you to step back after a year or after 2 years or whatever the case may be and go down to the Florida Keys and hang out on an island for a month if you feel like it, because you're going to require that. After building a business for a year or two, you deserve a vacation and you deserve to be mobile. So you've got to have that residual income. So point number 2 is make sure whatever compensation plan that you're involved in has large upfront commissions when you make a sale and strong back-end residual commissions. The third thing, and this is the thing that a lot of companies out there really fail when they put their companies together, they really come up short on this, is a marketing system. Folks, you can have the best product on earth, you can have the highest paying compensation plan available, but if you can't get anybody to look at your product or your business, you're not going to make any sales. In fact, you're going to be dead in the water very, very quickly. Make sure there is a proven, duplicatable marketing system. If you cannot get customers to you, then you cannot sell anything, period. And if you cannot sell anything, you will go broke quickly. Make sure the marketing system fits your needs. Do you like doing live hotel meetings? If the answer is no, then make sure that that's not the primary form of marketing that your company is doing. Folks, currently there are 1.4 billion people that can access the internet. If your company that you're marketing for doesn't have an extremely strong internet marketing division, they are probably behind the times, and it is going to become very difficult for you to compete. Number 4, company management. Folks, there is nothing worse than spending 2 years building your brand new business, starting to see some success, starting to see a good residual income, and then watching it evaporate overnight because the company owners got on a boat and headed to the Florida Keys with all the company profits. There is absolutely nothing more disheartening than those stories that are out on the internet. Research the credentials of the company management. Have they been successful before? How long is their track record? How long have they been in this industry? Do they have an extensive business education? What are their long-term goals? If they seem like more hype than substance, then you should be very, very weary. Look at company management as personal partners of yours, and if you get a gut feeling that these are good people, then you're probably right. Number 5, global expansion. Make sure that whatever company you partner with has room to expand. If it doesn't, then eventually your competition will become too fierce. It becomes too many fish in a small pond. I hate to keep going back and picking on nutritional companies again, but it's hard to expand a product like that because of all the legalities that come with consumable products. I find personally that information products tend to have the least red tape, and they're also the most accessible for international markets. Even with the slight government differences and legal differences from all the English-speaking countries, most of the information that's sold online applies in one way or another to every English-speaking country out there. So it's a product that's applicable to most people's lives. That's why I prefer to market information products. Look at the product line you're attempting to market. Ask yourself if you think it could expand globally, and then look and see if the company has plans to expand globally down the line. And if they do, you're in the right place. The next point is one that is really big for me. Does your company give back? What is the company doing for the future? Are they philanthropic? Do they understand the universal principle that what goes around comes around? Or are they just in it for a quick buck? If the company feels good, I use the word feels in quotations, then you do probably have a winner. Once again, it is that gut check thing. I know my partner, Jay Kubicek, and myself, we are currently sponsoring over 100 children across the world through a charity that we feel very passionate about. I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that it's important to find out, is the company that you're working with actually doing something to benefit other people in the future? Last point, point number 7, and this is going to be really important for probably about 80% of you on this call tonight. When people are getting started in a new venture, and when people are uneducated about the new adventure that they're about to set out on, it is extremely important to have a support and training network. Folks, point number 7 is another place where a lot of companies come up short. Does your company have a staff in place, or do they just rely solely on the sponsoring consultant? Is there somebody that you can access for questions? Is there somebody that can help you with marketing? Are there people that you can actually access that will walk you through the product line and teach you about it, or maybe even help you use the product line for yourself to its farthest reaches and to its furthest extent? Is there a place that you can go, like a forum, where you can plug in and see all the different obstacles that people have come to in their business, and all the different solutions that have been found as a group within the membership? Do you have a family-type atmosphere of people you can lean on and rely on? Because, folks, when you are going and setting out on a new venture, when you are starting a new business, you will run into obstacles. And you shouldn't let those things scare you, because that's part of the fun. Obstacles is where you get to learn, and learning is growth. But it sure is nice to have people to lean on and say, hey, have you ever run into this before? Because if you do have that group to lean on, they can tell you what they did to overcome the problem. And it's kind of like this. When you have that group behind you, you're like a person in a giant Hummer driving through the Amazon with the guns and the 4x4 tires and the bulletproof fenders on your car, and you can fly through the Amazon jungle. If you have a no support network, it's kind of like you got a backpack and a couple of boots on, and you're hacking through with a machete. Eventually you're going to get through. It's just going to take you an awfully long time to do it. So these 7 points are the 7 points that I did not have to work off of when I got started in this industry 4 or 5 years ago, but I learned along the way through trial and error. And trial and error, folks, is expensive.